Okay, so since we have this issue where we have to use Harabai code or either one of those processes of elimination, and that's pretty much the areas of modern day business where you make your own company and you establish more for those and our credentials, and that's just working with $774 million in reference or revenue. We want to work with revenue more often as we work with 92,000, 9242 hundreds, and working with more of those types of reference of standard form, and working with 79, 29, 44 of what it actually represents for Aston Martin types of detail. So it's being able to have more detail in your subscription. as having more details for your subscriptions as you look more into PMC2 squareds, additions of performances, and it's just working with the everyday mechanics of work as you work with Granger inspired technologies and tools. So it's being able to know more about Adobe tools, and being able to know more about being able to know more about 944. You're looking at 944. Take away 3404. Take away 3943. And that's pretty much working with the dollar amount as you spending more on $100 bill, or $900 of $300. So that's working with $900 plus $900 plus $300. So that's just working with spending $76.30, and the basics of being more profound to being a financial advisor is more about these essentials happening more often in a daily basis, where you don't get your $83 back like you should for spending that $34 or that $39, and that's pretty much where you should be getting paid $900 instead of $83, just because that's the normal rate of sub tax they get paid at the time. So it's working with 1973 of 2904, and it's working with either it's working with the movie films at the time, so movie films, books, music videos. You're working with Vivo at the time, so it's pretty much where you're working with a whole nother movie centric of its own type. So that's just basically based off of Vivo's performances and what Vivo does to promote more for its capacities. So that's just working with a 34 or a $39 profit, either or it could be both. So it's just being able to know more about having more for a $900 advancement at the time, as you get more propelled at knowing what $944 is and what it could be. And just like that, this could be either $10,000, or it can be $1,000, or it can be $10. And it's just basically where you get more of your truck and payment of being able to be paid when the truck is unloaded at the time. So it's being able to be unloaded at the truck. Looking at AMC, inspired by AMC theaters and PFG and ADP, and that's pretty much where you're looking at the inspired looks of 95, 56, 26 hours, and that's pretty much using that $900 bonus 2 times. So that's basically where you see that $900 advancement, increase or propel or benefit. Pretty much we're using that in voice at in eco herb of PMC2 squared of ecoleaf, and it's just pretty much using those corporate ladders to promote more for a $500 payment, and making more of a $500 payment more availed, more than a $34 or $39 payment. And it's pretty much where you get more with the advanced excelled rate of 2005 and 2071, and being able to be part of the the excelled availance of the future society is what we want to be able to advance in the future of UIL, of UTI, Technical Institute, and that's pretty much what all this good stuff is inspired by, as we make more entertainment for the things that we care about the most, and understanding more about the promotions that prevail these things. So just working with different 2096 to 2191, and understanding more about the yellow, green, and orange propositions that we care about, that we represent since 2196 of 2291. So it's being able to work on the newer day advancements of Chevy Tahoe 2018, and being able to look at the GMC Denali more often of 2018, and just being able to look at its dimensions and its format and its platforms of the day, as you focus more on 96, 76, and 46 dimensions on that particular dimension. So it's working with more of 2005 to 2091, and being able to deal with more of a 60-year composite instead of a 6 or 12-year composite at the time. So it's basically working on a 60-year full-term investment, as you work more towards Sam Houston and its semester wages of being able to be part of the exams, and part of the quiz grades, and part of the everyday mention of work that goes on in the day. So just being able to be practice. That's just being able to practice being more mentionable in the honor society, and understanding more about dimensions of being a greater person, and being in a greater situation, and given equal situation of all. And that's just pretty much using 1 out of 993 different dimensions of yellow, white, and orange classifications of 96, 66, and that happens in 24 as well. So as being able to be part of September 18th, as the deal of that ends, and being able to understand more about the dimensions of the civil rights that you should be in, as your color is accepted to be perceived as one of the colors of a civil tyranny. So whether it's the United States, whether it's Boston, whether it's Austin, whether it's Chicago, that's just the difference that we're going through, that we see that that we're having trouble getting familiar with these people, just because they need to know their color ranks, and they need to know their language that they should be speaking, and they need to know their cosmetic style of how to appropriate these type of details. So it's pretty much using that detailer font to promote more for the advancements of 9830. Whether it's in December 15th to March 18th. So it's using 9831 months to promote more for that accurate availance for Jimmy John's, or Quiznos or Wendy's, using your daily balance of 2009 to 2022. So, that's just being able to look at purple, green, and yellow different instances, um, purple, green, and yellow uh, in instincts on that part of the time. So, it's pretty much working with 98 to 23. So, that's being able to use those different economies as you make more towards making more money towards what you want to pay for at the beginning of the day. So, that's being able to know more about using your common greater factors to promote more for what you sell and what you want to buy in the future. So this is just corn, rice, and French fry at the time. So just being able to use a combination, a unit, and using it for futures of decades. Using it for futures of decades at the time. So that's pretty much what we want to do to promote more for the full-time advantage of being able to be in intermediate skill level, and being able to advantage from 2008 to 2018 and still going to 2023. And that's pretty much where you're making more of your everyday advantage of 98, 96, and 23 different acceptances of 2008 to 2012 to 2018. So just being able to know more about how you spend your 10,000 or your 1,000, and being able to know more about shopping at out stores. And it's pretty much just using the average day standard form of 79, 89, and 69 different results of ratios. And what was I saying? Excelled, excellent, excelled, yeah, coordinates, excel ratios. This is what I was about to say. There we go. Yeah. So basically, what we wanted to do is make Penske one of coordinates on coordinates and ratios. And that's pretty much using 7444 megabits of software data engineering time slots. So you make more for Sony, and you make more for PlayStation Network, and you make more for PlayStation 5, and you make more for PlayStation 3, and you make more for PlayStation 2. And that's just a bonus feature of the network. You got more to result in after more of that compound statistics at the time. So just being able to know orange, green, and blue formulas for the universal platform of the periodic table at the time. So it's using Sprint and T-Mobile and Suddenlink Agriculture investments of that type of look of 98,430 investments after yellow, green, and orange statistics of atmospheric networks. So they're just looking at the average day look of what a car actually is in 2012 versus 2008, and looking at the look of Airheads versus Laffy Taffies, and understanding the difference between and why is it so different. Being able to know the compassions of a familiar ratio. So that's basically one of the statistics, or one of the statuses on the itinerary that makes you want to think more conclusionable, or more more